Welcome to video number 6. With this video, we are going to conclude the parametric modeling related concepts. So what we have here is the hammer hanger we modeled in our previous videos. So before we come to this level, we created the hammer and this hanger within this master file. Then we performed a body to component conversion like we see in this timeline. Notice our timeline has been very populated now. So all the actions we took, they are recorded here. So body to component conversion. So these are the things we did when you are creating this hammer hanger. And also this is the imported part. This is a bolt we imported from McMaster. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to demonstrate some other tools that's going to be very useful in this solid modeling section. Things like copying or mirroring some features you already created. So let's go ahead, go with the plan of mounting this body into the wall. So we already got one hole and a bolt already imported. So in the mission of mounting this body into the wall, I need 3 more holes in these 3 corners and 3 more bolts. Alright, so let's see how we get to that. Since I mentioned about copying, I'll tell you now, believe it or not, the copy paste keyboard shortcuts Ctrl C, Ctrl V still works here as well. I can select the object in the project browser and Ctrl C and Ctrl V straight away. Look what happens here. So a new object, a new component has already duplicated right on top of the original component. I can drag it out. There it is. And say OK. I have a bolt duplicated here. Same exact component. Notice here, since I tried it before as well, without recording, the number 2 was created, but this is number 3. This is the third one. All right, so I got more important things to do, before this. That means showing you how the mirror feature works here. So I'm going to temporarily hide this bolt, so as the other one. So I'm trying to mirror this across the center plane to this side. All right, so even if I turn on the origin, that's somewhere else here. So remember we created a reference plane. That is the solution we're going to go with now at this point. So I'm going to click on this reference plane. Then I can select a reference face or a plane. So I'm going to select this face. Then I need to give the direction, how far we need to go. I can't really remember how long this body is. I can always go to this sketch, find the sketch and get that data. But now we know how to use a measuring tool. I simply click on the measure and click on this edge. Then it says 100. Awesome. Then I go close that, right click on this feature. So see the importance of the timeline. I can easily right click there and edit feature, then give the dimension, which is -50. That it's in the dead center. We created the reference plane on the along this edge right in the middle of it. Now we can use that as a mirror to create another hole on this right side. Same time, let's create another plane on this along the horizontal direction. Same method. First of all, I measure how long this is. That's 65. Okay. Construction, maybe from the top this time, going downwards. That's going to be negative. In this dimension box, I'm going to have -65 divided by 2. I'm too lazy to do that math by myself. I can have this formula inside this box. Press enter There it is. I got two perpendicularly crossing planes, construction planes designed there. Notice here you can access them in the timeline as well, and also I have Fusion has saved them in the project browser as well. Not the canvases, construction, plane 1, plane 2. So you can name them if you want. Uh, if that's important, you can do that. So that way, if you got multiple planes, you know what the reason of their existence. All right, mirroring. Mirror option is in the Create tab panel. Create and mirror down here. It's a very important feature right here. So mirror. Now, asking simple questions. So what do you want to mirror? Faces, components, bodies, what? In my case, they are features because this hole is a feature. So I select on feature, then what are those features? I can go select as is in the picture itself, or I can always select in the uh, timeline that's selected. Then mirror plane is basically asking me to select the mirror. So the mirror plane, this is the one, there it is. And let's not worry about compute option because that is not really relevant at this level. And okay, and give it some time. There it is. That is the uh, hole exactly symmetrical from this plane. So we're gonna do the same thing again one more time. Go mirror in order to create the holes below this. Mirror. Actually, shall we try to have the holes, the bolts in there as well, and do it all once? You wanna see how that works? Let's try that. I'll go unhide the bolt here. Then I try the mirror feature, which is this bolt, this thing. Oh, there's another one I copied. Okay. Let's get rid of that first because I'm pretty confident that I can mirror them. I don't need to have it copied. Delete. All right. So now let's go back to mirror because mirror is pretty much copying an already existing object symmetrical to the mirror. Go mirror, select the object, which is the bolt, mirror plane, this thing. Okay, there it is. Cool. When we are duplicating them across the other side, so the bottom row, I can do the same thing, selecting multiple objects. Mirror, I select features. So notice the mirrored object appeared them as mirrors right here. So when I select the features, I can select that mirror, which is the mirrored bolt, also the mirrored hole, then the actual hole, and the actual original bolt. Now 4 objects selected. It tells you 4 selected, and mirror plane, this one, the horizontal plane. Okay, done. See how easy is that? Now 4 bolts are already copied and placed with mirrored holes that identical to each other. Okay, so that's you could do them one after the other, which could take ages. So now I'm showing you techniques that get the job done in a most efficient ways. All right, so you can hide these planes by simply clicking on this eye symbol. Click. Now they are hidden, and you can bring the hammer head and hammer back in. There it is. Okay. I think with this model, that's all I can show you. with this model. So now I showed you how the holes work. All right, so next I'm going to show you some other important features in the solid modeling concept. So let me open up a new file, new design. I'm going to show you how this revolve feature works. So the revolve feature, as this tooltip says, it revolves a sketch profile or a planar face around a selected axis. So the end result is a solid shape that has a circular cross section. So it needs a reference axis and also a profile, something like this. So I'll start with a sketch, something like yeah, so you can pick any plane here. So let me start with something like a ring. Pretty simple stuff, right? So gotta start with a sketch because we need a profile and an axis. Okay, so in this ring design, very plain ring I'll start with. I'll start with an ellipse. Click. Okay, I gotta go pretty close here because ring is not that wide. Make the ring width to be 6 mil. That should be reasonable. Click. And width of maybe, yeah, 4 mil would be reasonable. All right. So just to give a bit of a fanciness to the ring, okay, so the ring has a curvature to, inside curvature, right? So let me draw a line for reference here. Doesn't matter what dimensions you give here because this is going to be a construction line to guide me for this arc. 3-point arc starts here, here, and go till the middle. Then I go to the trimming tool and trim out the unnecessary parts like that. Good. And also let me go to a circle and give it a circular cut. Maybe 2 mil. Must be too much. Just a tiny little channel. I'm gonna make it in that ring. Trim again and trim out the unnecessary parts. That looks good. Okay, so the next important part is the axis. So what this profile is going to revolve around. So that's also going to be a line. Just draw that line. So I'm going to make sure that is a vertical line. Convert that into construction. Then the dimension that decides the diameter of the ring. Okay, so for now, roughly I'll give you 10. Okay, so finish sketch. Now we got the profile and the revolving axis here. Now simply I need to go to revolve. So in the revolve dialog box here, one profile already automatically selected there. Then axis is the only thing we need to select. Just simply click on this and there it is. And you can change the angle. It doesn't have to be all around. So you can give it like 180. That's going to be just a half of it. There it is. But that won't be a ring, right? It will be a half of the ring, but you won't be able to wear that. So I go right click, edit feature, make it 360. Okay, so that's the ring. So these edges are pretty sharp here, so I can click on this. I can go to fillet, click and click. Maybe 1 mil. Oh, that's too much. 0.5. That's pretty reasonable. So that is a ring we just simply modeled here. So you can always go to if you want to make some changes, you can always access this sketch, right click, edit sketch. Now you can, if you think this is need to be wider a bit, You can change the dimensions, and also you can edit the feature, the profile as well. Then when you finish sketch, those changes gonna get applied in here. I keep saying that it's a ring, but it doesn't really look like a ring until you apply some material on it. So let me revise you on applying materials. Select the entire object, right click on it, go to appearance. Then you can find the material you like to apply. So let's make this a gold ring. Metal, gold, then I got gold polished, drag and drop. Voila, I got a gold ring. There it is. Okay, so it's pretty plain, very boring looking ring. So if you want to add some surface, just say some special cuts or anything to this ring, you can still do that using the extrude cut we learned before. Only thing you need to be careful of using the correct planes on what planes you are making those sketches. For an example, I'm just trying to have a bit of a flat cut on one of the sides here. So I'll go to select sketches. I'm going to select one of the plane that splits the ring in half like that. So I'm going to start with just a simple line, a vertical line. What I'm planning to do is just bring it as close as possible to this channel where it starts. That should do. This is something I do for aesthetic improvement, so I don't really worry about dimensioning and all. Just making a closed loop. That will do. Finish sketch. Right click on it. I do a press pull. When I do a press pull, I select that new sketch. I make it symmetric and symmetric cut because I need to remove the material out of this ring and drag it out. That's done. Just say okay. I made a nice flat cut in here. I don't know if it's nice or not. I just made a flat cut. Okay, so if you want to add some more material, just a little diamond holder, you can still do that. So in the same note, I'm going to show you how to pattern this cut around the ring. I mean, with the number of copies of this. So you can pattern. I mean, you can duplicate them in a linear pattern or circular pattern as well, but in this case it had the option is circular. So the plan is this. So I want to have just say 1 2 3 4 of these cuts in the four corners. Make it, let's make it fancier by doing 6 corners, 6 cuts here. So I go to create, and you go down here, pattern and circular pattern. So it creates duplicate faces, features, bodies or components and arrange them in an arc or circular pattern. So in this revolve, I just need to select what I'm going to pattern. In this case, it's a feature, which is a cut. I select that right here. Then what is that going to be revolve around the pattern? So in this case now, I don't have that axis visible here anymore because there was a sketch that we used to design. I'm talking about this sketch here, edit sketch, this axis here. I don't want to draw a whole new axis for my patterning here because I can use the same one. Only thing I need to do, I go back to these sketches and make that visible again. So automatically it's just going to hide when you create the revolve. So I Click on this eye symbol. Now that is visible. Now I can use this same axis for my circular pattern. Alright, so going back to create pattern, circular pattern. Again, select features that cut from the timeline. Axis I can select this guy. There you go. Now it's showing me a preview, even though my graphics are not that good to show me a full preview. I can tell how many of these shapes I want. Let's make it 6. Now 6 of them are nicely arranged around this shape. I'll say OK. There you go. And now I can hide the sketch here. There it is. Now I made a nice flat cuts around this ring. If you want to change them, only thing you need to do, just need to find the feature. Oh, sorry, the sketch related to the cut. Right click, edit sketch. Now I can change it here. I can bring it forward a bit. I just want to see what happened, show you what happened to the patterns. It's gonna get copied all around. It's gonna get, the pattern is updated now. Undo that. Finish sketch. There you go. So same thing. So I just showed you how to remove materials. You can always add material as well. You can have this channel not going all around. You can have it just going halfway. So it's up to your imagination. Okay. All right. So I went through the revolve and patterning. One little thing I want to show you about this little shelling. So shelling is something like you're making a box. So let me do that here itself. Let me go to sketch again. I select stop plane. Oh, that looks good here. Make a box. Finish sketch. Right click. Press pull. Select that. Rotate around. Make that a box. So that is a solid now. Okay. So if you want to take the internal material of, so like, convert that into like a tank, like a fish tank or something, you can use this shell command here. It removes material from part interior, creating a hollow cavity. So it leaves the bottom for you as well. So click on that. Now select on the side you want to take material off. Imagine you are just excavating on top of the material, this box. From there, then you can select how much of a meat you want in here. So you can go very thick or pretty thin. So if I say just 2 mil, there you go. I just shelled it. Okay, I'm not sure. I can't remember recalling any of your models use this feature, but this is an important feature to know. All right, so this concludes about parametric modeling, the solid modeling assembly. I covered pretty much everything. The next video I'll discuss about freeform, the sculpting. All right, so thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.